Mike Brown.
Present.
Paul Watson. Danny Tilges.
Present.
Donald Fleming.
Present.
Marilyn Timmons. Marlene Blackburn.
Present.
Robert Thomas.
Present.
You have a form, sir.
Please rise for the pledge of
We'll
allegiance.
do this part first, and then we'll go into hold on.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would anyone here like to offer an invitation? All right, we'll continue the meeting. All right, are there any motions to approve the agenda?
I'd like to move that we amend the agenda to include the nuisance ordinance after we talk about maintenance.
Okay,
And also to go into closed session.
first.
Yes.
The reason we talked that I think we're looking at doing that is because the lawyer's here just for some closed session, and then we're going to excuse him.
Fine
and be
with
done.
me.
We're sorry about that.
No, that's quite all right.
Okay, so there's a motion on the table to go into closed session first and add after maintenance ordinance 563.
I second.
It's been seconded, roll call vote.
Paul Watson. Danny Tilges.
Yes.
Donald Fleming.
Yes.
Marilyn Timmons.
Yes.
Marlene Blackburn.
Yes.
Robert Thomas.
Yes.
5-0.
She's a 35 minutes. Sorry about that.
Get a nap or something.
No, I can go back to the other meeting.
Jesse, it passes?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
See that?
We're not in session. Thanks,
Thank
Betty.
you.
Butt is numb. All right.
Cell phones are tabled.
Yeah.
The
That's your one off.
coverage off with the vote that we're putting on
Okay.
there. You can change the
I'm off.
so that just comes off first.
Okay.
And what we want you to do is scrap the vote.
I want a cup of coffee.
Down there.
Oh, there you go.
There I go.
Or we can put it up.
Anybody have a cup?
I think a
Or we can just say
There's
scrap it all.
Bailey's or a mudslide or a Dunphy's,
All of the above.
a bottle, a flask,
Scrapping this stuff,
Yeah.
you can get rid of it in
The bar?
a reasonable manner.
Yeah.
You don't have to bid it out if it's scrap.
Okay.
All
All right, let's go into
Okay.
open session and.
Hello, welcome everybody
Hi.
to Tuesday night. I know everyone, this is what you're planning on doing.
Tuesday night fights.
First on the agenda is communication. I'm letting everybody know that we had talked prior about cell phones that we had found for $50 unlimited service, and then the cell phones were $1 a piece, but at this time we will not be doing that. It was tabled. Next on the agenda is maintenance. Maintenance recovery workshop. It looks like we can recover the building down there where they used to be. Remember that we made an insurance claim on it. It was about $1,500 that they paid us, and so we'll be using that. They do have some requests so that they can get down there, which includes a garage door. This is from the maintenance supervisor, dear City Council, to break down the bids. I'd venture to say that garage doors and entry doors are first on the list to get done. Phase 1, secure the building is priority 1, then we start on phase 2, parking lot. Get rid of junk, wood, and other scrap, then grade the parking lot down and make the burn for the zero gravity zone to close the building. Add drain tile 4 feet or 4 inches. I'm guessing it's feet wide. No, it would be inches. 4 inches wide perimeter, and then add 4 wide around the building. Maybe we should check on cutting 4 feet concrete box culvert ditch around the whole building and grading on top of it. Save us the trouble of grading the parking lot too, and more drain tile. Just a thought. And framing a bathroom and wall, paneling and insulating the office area. Phase 3, spray insulating the main shop area, fixing furnace vent minor repairs. Phase 4, framing a new add-on bays and out of buildings, and pour concrete and add bay doors. Phase 5, reduce salt shed and cold patch shed. Then I think we are in business.
Right.
So if the council would like, that would be the plan for maintenance to move down there. Would there be a motion at this time to adopt these 5 phases?
I make a motion.
There's a motion on the table to, what do you have to say, Commissioners?
I make a motion to adopt the 5 phases proposed by the maintenance supervisor. and to move maintenance down to the old, maintenance shed.
There's a motion on the table to adopt the 5 phases.
I'll second it.
It's been seconded, roll call vote.
Jenny Joseph,
Yes.
Don Fleming,
Yes.
Ron Timmons,
Yes.
Ronnie Blackburn,
Yes.
Robert Thomas.
Yes.
Passes 5-0, sir.
Now, originally, the council had an Eagles Nest account which was designated for a city hall. This council had voted to reaffirm that that's what it was for. As part of moving the city hall, we found that additional costs were being incurred in moving maintenance. Is it this council's desire that the scope of the Eagles Nest expands to include the old maintenance shed? And if that's so, we need to make a motion as dictating such. The fund, as far as we can tell, was done by votes, and so by votes, we should be able to increase the scope of this fund. Jeff, do you have any comments about the appropriation of this Eagles Nest fund?
None that I've met before, I think.
I have a question about the money that we're putting into this other building. Is there money left that we can go ahead and use instead of taking money out of the Eagles Nest and use some of it to put in over there?
If we increase the scope of the Eagles Nest, there's $25,000 left. But you don't necessarily need to deplete it, and that's why we can focus on one phase at a time. And if we see that there's other money coming in, those could be used for that as well.
Right.
So it, as a matter.
Plus the insurance money.
Plus the, oh, yes, if there is $1,500 from the insurance, it's approximately $1,500 from the
Right.
insurance. So that would go, if that needs to be voted to go towards that, and then.
And then the scrap on whatever we can get for scraps and stuff.
What gets turned in, that scrap is here in just a second, but yes, if we turned in scrap, money could go to that too as
Well,
well.
I'd like to make a motion that the insurance money, in the approximate amount of $1,500 or whatever it is, be utilized for the new, maintenance shed for the maintenance, crew.
Yes. I'll
There's a
second
motion on the
that.
table and it's been seconded, roll call vote.
Jenny Joseph,
Yes.
Don Fleming,
Yes.
Ron Timmons,
Yes.
Ronnie Blackburn,
Yes.
Robert Thomas.
Yes.
Passes 5-0.
What about the scrap money, the scrap?
We're
We
going
could
into
put
that
that
now.
on there too, couldn't we?
We can, and that's
Okay,
the
I'll
next.
make a motion that we put the scrap, what we get out of that to go into the, old maintenance building.
There's a motion on the table for a scrap, and before someone makes a second, real quick, it needs to be discussed, is everything being scrapped down there, or is it gonna be put up for bid?
Well, it doesn't have to if it's scrap, isn't that correct?
The scrap can just be scrap,
So
there's
let's
a lot.
just do it as,
So we're gonna make a motion that the
Pardon?
old stuff down there be sold for scrap and that the money used for.
goes into
Yes.
the old shed.
Yes.
Does that, and that needs to be mentioned, does that include vehicles? Oh,
That's up to you.
your vehicles are not, your vehicles are yours, are not, okay.
I need to keep those reports.
Police, there's 2 police vehicles down there, that is not included in
No,
this. This is
it is
all
not.
city, there's wood, there's like just scrap, there's like just scrap metal, it's like parts of, just metal parts.
What are we doing with the wood?
Wood is part of the scrap,
The wood is?
yes, there's
That-
tractor.
From the trees?
Mhm. There's a tractor, there's some old parts. Question?
What are you doing with the wood? Can that be sold or used for
Yeah, we
firewood?
could sell that.
Or
That's-
give it to the
that's-
families.
That's what this conversation's about, that's what this is
I
about.
think we should try and sell that wood, not at a high price, but, get something out of it. That way the families that do need,
Yeah.
it's a good idea,
I-
but not give it
Can
away.
I say something real quick, Betty? I think that was farther down in his agenda. Was it?
Yes, that was for them, it's okay.
Jeff?
I didn't know about any wood. I know we spoke with Josh about this one of the meetings over the last couple of weeks. I asked him specifically, he said nothing down there had any value beyond scrap. I mean, if you want to amend the motion to include the stuff maintenance supervisors identified as metal scrap that's actually been taken, hauled off of some value. I mean, I'm not aware of any place you can haul wood off and just scrap it per se. I mean, as far
Right.
as motion scrap it goes, maybe.
Yeah, you can't, we need to sell the wood.
Okay, then we can make that on a separate motion.
Right.
Let's go ahead and finish up your motion to scrap
To put the
off.
scrap, and what we get out of that, put that up for sale, and then, or have the scrap people come and give us an offer, and what we get out of that, it's gonna go on the old shed. to
I'll
rebuild
second
it.
that.
There's a motion that, and let me get this right, we're gonna sell the scrap,
Yes.
and we're gonna sell the wood, or you make that
And,
some?
no, that'll be a separate motion.
Okay, so this is just scrap. The
Just
motion is
scrap.
to sell the scrap.
With the
Yes.
exception of the police vehicles.
This
Right,
person-
that has nothing to do with us.
And we're considering the vehicles, the broken down vehicles that are unfixable as scrap down there.
Not if they're police cars.
Right, minus the police cars. That's scrap, okay. And this one seconded,
That's right.
roll call vote.
Betty Joseph.
Yes.
Alan Fleming.
Yes.
Ron Simmons.
Yes.
Marlene Blackburn.
Yes.
Robert Thomas.
Yes.
That's 5-0.
Okay. Again, going back, we did jump over the scope of the Eagle's Nest. If we wanted to use some of that to be able to get them in there. They do need to get in there pretty soon with this phase 1. And
What do we anticipate the cost to be?
they want to, did you get us, he didn't give us the other sheet, did he?
Tell you, I'd like to
It's a
leave it
garage.
there for right now if we
The
can.
estimated cost is roughly 10,300.
10,300?
For phase 1.
And
it was
use this
10,000.
other first, and then if we need more,
So you're saying, Betty, you would like to see what we
I
make
would like
from,
to, I
What
would
we
like
get
to
from
leave
the
it.
scrap?
and
Yes,
see how much we
and the
make?
1,500 and, we might
Reevaluate it
use the
then?
wood on the same thing, in another motion. I'd like to leave the Eagle's Nest, that's all we've got, and I think that's a little bit important to hold on to if we can.
As far as selling the wood and stuff, how you gonna do that? By the truck, by the cord?
Buy the truckload,
But what's your idea of a truckload and his idea of a truckload, like two different things?
well, have we got a farmer in here?
Anybody know what a cord of wood is?
Yes.
It's
They
mini.
got-
I'm just
Is it
saying.
already cut up or is it
No,
logs?
It's log, it's mostly logs.
Okay, then I think what we ought to do is just ask, if anybody wants to bid on removal of the wood as it is there.
If we bid, it
Give
needs
us-
to go to the paper, and we gotta go for 3 weeks.
I think we ought to put that for sale. Truck, pickup load for a certain amount of money.
Can we,
I thought it's already cut?
no,
No,
It's
in
logs.
Okay, so they would have to come in and cut.
Are these old telephone poles?
No, no,
the
the
trees that were
trees.
in back here.
Oh,
And wood from before, it's wood from before. It's
There
like a
is some
mixture.
cut wood up.
There is some cut, you're right, there is some cut down there.
Yeah, I thought there was
Some
some down there
logs.
cut.
So it's like a mixture.
what if you could do a raffle?
We need to get rid of it
Cow
as
Days
soon
is
as
coming up,
possible
so
in
how
winter.
old
All of the
is
city's
this?
wood,
How old is it?
Oh, it's seasoned.
some,
About a year old.
some of it's old.
Okay.
Yeah, it was March of 2017 when the trees came down.
Excuse me, Mr. Baker, does that air conditioner have a lock on it now?
Yes,
Who has the key to it?
it has to be maintained at a certain temperature to maintain the books.
Okay,
Oh.
who has the key to it?
Librarian,
That's the only key?
Yeah.
The mayor needs a key to that because it's freezing in here.
Can we close the vent for you?
I think we tried that last week, didn't we?
Betty,
it can be closed.
No, I'm fine.
No,
I'll just move away.
You can't, you
No,
can't
reach
reject.
out.
that's good. I appreciate it.
Does it, would anyone
I'll
like to use
just
my
move
coat?
away from
No,
it.
okay.
We need to have two keys, one for the mayor and.
Betty, are you sure? You can have my coat, I'm not cold at all.
I'm okay.
I've offered, that's,
Thank you. I know, that was kind of, I appreciate it, but
okay.
I'm not gonna take the coat off.
City attorney, what do you recommend that we do with that wood?
From a practical perspective, I can't see that the city wants to be in the business of selling wood, quite frankly. By the time you pay your maintenance guys to cut it down and everything else.
I think there's
At the
state
hourly
laws, it
rate
must be
you have
sold by
to.
cord, not by truck.
And either way,
Why don't we just
you're
give it
not
to a
gonna
needy
make, I don't see you
family?
making
just
money
There's
from
a
a
lot of
practical
it.
perspective,
Yeah,
there's a lot
quite
of it.
frankly.
If somebody could cut it up for a needy family, some needy families even have chainsaws and
You
they
might
can
find
kind
a
of
church to
take
be
it
willing
off.
to do that for you.
Yes,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
would.
But the problem is them coming on to the premises and cutting, and then they're on city property and the liability and,
That's true.
You can
yeah.
also
That's
call
okay.
Amish and they'll make it disappear in 30 minutes.
Well, that's a good
There we
idea.
go.
There we
Solved that
go.
real quick.
That's right.
Your labor and getting it
And-
off the property is probably higher than the value of the wood, would just be my guess, without going down there and look.
Looking, if they're
From a
pretty
practical
good sized
perspective.
trees, we could probably get a hold of the Amish And they might be able to mill some of that for us to use on the inside that doesn't have to be treated.
Those were
We-
some big trees.
Yeah.
There's a bit,
So-
it's a bit of wood, I mean, it's.
Okay.
They won't do it for
Well,
free.
I make a motion that we contact
Jethro.
the Amish to see if they're interested in purchasing or milling the wood for the city to work and possibly for the new maintenance shed. And,
They're not gonna do that for free.
no,
It's just gonna be another
I was
cost to
gonna
us.
say, why not ask them to
Just
just
give
get
'em.
it out of your
Just ask them
Exactly,
to
that's
come
what I
and
mean.
get it.
Just come
just
get
give it away.
okay.
I mean,
I
they'll
make a
take it.
Well,
motion
what
that
about some of that cut wood? Let's give it to some needy families if we're just gonna give it.
at this point, Betty, I just think get it out
Get it out
there.
of there.
Just get it out there so they can start,
What does the rest of the
Clean.
council think?
Just get it out of there.
Just get it out.
All right.
And, well,
Because
if
fall is coming and there are some people that only uses wood and not able to buy it.
maintenance did tell me
So
that they
we gotta make it
knew,
available to them.
To the people
Go
that,
on and
maintenance mentioned to me that they knew of some families that could use it, so
Okay.
we can just let
That's
them
true.
just give it away.
well, we can let the maintenance just give that away. They
Right.
can make the provisions for the wood
that sounds right.
and,
But the big stuff, probably called it, Amish should have them haul the big stuff off.
yeah.
There were some good ones.
Yeah.
You're making a
Yeah,
motion.
there are some.
I don't know what I'm making anymore, it's so late.
You're making it for the
This
wood.
is the last.
For the wood.
Amish to
For the big
come.
logs.
For the Amish to come pick up the large logs, but anything, that's provided that they will want it. If not, we ask that the supervisor have the authority to give the wood away to
Right.
needy families that
Exactly.
could possibly use it.
I'll second.
There's a motion on the table to give the wood away to needy families or as the municipality can.
Right.
It's been seconded, roll call vote.
Dave Joseph,
Yes.
Donna Flynn,
Yes.
Ron Simmons.
Yes.
Marlene Blackburn,
Yes.
Carl Thomas.
Yes.
That's 5-0.
All right, last item on the agenda, ordinance 563. This is an ordinance that is amending and updating ordinance 336 dated September 9th, 1991, prohibiting the maintenance of nuisances within the City of Dixon, Missouri, providing for the abatement and penalties of the maintenance of such nuisances and providing for an effective date for this ordinance. Be it ordained by the Board of Aldermen and the City of Dixon, Missouri as follows. Section 1. The Section 2 subsection N of ordinance 336 shall be repealed. A new Section 2 subsection N shall be added with the following language. Section 2. Nuisance is defined. Any growth of weeds, grass, or poisonous or noxious weeds or vegetation which are 10 inches or more in height within 200 feet of the building or 100 feet of any improved street or any accumulation of dead weeds, grass or brush within 200 feet of any building and 100 feet of any improved street. Section 2. Section 4 subsection A of ordinance 336 shall be repealed. A new Section 4 subsection A will be added with the following language. Section 4. Abatement of nuisances. A. Whether the Board of Aldermen or its designated officers shall ascertain or have knowledge that prohibited nuisance exists, it shall serve notice upon the owner of the property, and if the property is not owner occupied, to any occupant of the property, of written notices specifically describing each condition of the lot of land declared to be public nuisance, of which the notice shall be identified what action will remedy the public nuisance. Unless a condition presents an immediate, specifically identified risk to the public health or safety, such a notice shall require abatement of the nuisance or the commencement or removal of each condition identified within a period of 15 days. Written notice may be given to personnel service or by first class certified returned receipt mail to both the occupant of the property and the property address and the owner of the property at the last known address of the owner, if not the same, or by the city marshal posting such a notice on the property. Section 3. Now Section 4 subsection C of the ordinance 336 shall be repealed. A new Section 4 subsection C shall be added with the following language. Section 4. Abatement of nuisances. C. If no hearing is requested or after the request of the hearing, the Board of Aldermen determines that a nuisance exists, it shall by order direct the person or persons maintaining such a nuisance to abate the same within 5 days. Such an order of abatement shall be served in the same order, same manner as provided in the section for the service of notice of the nuisance. The order may further provide that if the nuisance is not therefore abated, appropriate city officials may be authorized and directed to cause abatement of the said nuisance. If the nuisance is abated by the city, it shall be at the expense of the legal landowner. The cost of abating nuisances on private property shall be levied and assessed on each lot in proportion to the amount of work done and the material used in abating the nuisance located on each such lot. 1. Such costs are required to abate the nuisance shall be certified to the city clerk, who shall cause a special tax bill, therefore, against the property to be prepared and to be collected, and all other taxes assessed against the property improved upon with which such work was done. The tax bill from the date of issuance shall be the first lien on the property until paid and shall be prima facie evidence of the recitals therein and of its validity. No mere clerical error or informality in the same or in the proceedings leading up to the issuance shall be a defense thereto. Each special tax bill shall be issued by the city clerk and delivered to the collector on or before the first day of June each year. If the costs are not paid by December 31 of the year in which the costs are included in the tax bill shall be deemed delinquent, and the collection of the delinquent bill shall be governed by the laws governing delinquent and back taxes. Such tax bills, if not paid when due, shall bear interest at the rate of 8% per annum. Section 4, Section 5 of Ordinance 336 shall be repealed. A new Section 5 shall be added with the following language. Section 5, penalties for the failure to abate nuisance. In addition to its authority to cause the abatement of any nuisance, any person who fails to abate a nuisance after service of an order of abatement as herein provided within a 12-month period, beginning with the first violation, may be prosecuted for a municipal ordinance violation. The combination of costs with the amount of court costs shall not total in excess of $200 for the first violation, $275 for the second violation, $350 for the third violation, $450 for the fourth, and any subsequent violation for every day after conviction, whether the judgment be appealed from or not, before the municipal judge of any person for the violation, failure, neglect, or refusal to comply with any of the provisions or requirements of this ordinance. That such public nuisances continue, such a person shall be deemed guilty of a separate and distinct office for which he or she may again be cited, tried, convicted, and punished as in the first instance. Failure to pay said court costs and fines as ordered by the municipal courts in excess of $25 may be reported by said court in advance or in accordance with section 479.356 RSMO to the Director of the Department of Revenue, and the request of that department seeks to set off an income tax refund as provided by sections 143.782 and 143.788 RSMO. Section 5 effective date is that this ordinance shall be enforced and take effect from and after its passage and approval. Are there any questions at this time?
I have one.
Yes.
Have you removed the prior ordinance from the book first?
This amends
Oh,
that ordinance. That was ordinance 336?
Yeah.
And this will amend that ordinance.
gotcha.
Okay.
And just so I understand this, if the owner of the property is not, or I'm saying it's a rental, and if they do not, we can go to the landlord or the owner of the property and we can hit them. Because I'm willing to donate my time to see that that's started. Because I fear by the time all the grace periods and everything, it's gonna be months anyway.
Yes.
So this says that.
Jeff, did you hear the question, my friends?
How long does it take to get the?
No, we'll be able to go after owners.
Yeah.
That's what
That's in
even if
essence.
they're renting, a landlord.
It says, you have to go after the owner for the tax assessment, but you can also go after the person
Who hasn't-
occupying the premises for the violation as well. That's part of the city court.
So,
But if they won't do it, is our second doorway the person who owns the property?
Yeah, and what it really is meant to allow to do is for your, the big one it's amending is the grass, and it's not uncommon in a lot of cities for you to send your maintenance guy out to mow their grass and then you send them a bill for it. And that bill becomes a special tax assessment against their property.
And this is the fix to allow the marshal to go and do as needed with citing.
And there are some people that want to pay the city to mow, that they are not able to mow, or they have paid people to go over and mow and they did not do it, they just kept the money. They would like to pay the city somehow to go
but see,
mow
they're gonna-
and have it put on whatever they have to do so they can get their property mowed.
And you can't
their
let the people
rentals.
do that, and that's
No.
why you have a
Can't do it.
municipal code violation that on top of just paying your maintenance crew to go out at their hourly rate and cut the grass, plus the cost of their gas, plus the
Right.
depreciation on their items, you also find
Get
them through municipal court with the citation before you do all that, and they're not gonna wanna pay $300 a
Right.
month to mow their grass, so.
I guess my question would be, does this also cover dilapidated, burned down buildings that are on the ground?
That's what I want.
Not just grass issues.
That is already on the books, but has not been utilized.
That was my understanding.
All I'm asking is where you've got a group of people, we're willing to go out
Yeah.
and drive these people crazy till they do it. But we better have the backing to do
Let
it.
me give you a list.
And it's my understanding,
But
my
you
understanding
what?
that,
A list and a badge, you're getting it.
I
it's my
think
understanding that there are a lot of problems existed with the communication, and this helps fix that communication so we can go forward.
Okay.
that's all I'm asking. Thank you.
Well, I'll just read the section this time. Yeah,
How many times does this have to be read? Twice?
just twice, but the second time I can read the section.
You captured, you read the entirety one time, did you have to read the captions 2 times?
Okay.
So it's got
2 times.
3
I'm just gonna read captions this time. An ordinance amending and updating ordinance 336 dated September 9th, 1991, prohibiting the maintenance of nuisances within the City of Dixon, Missouri, providing for the abatement and the penalties for the maintenance of such nuisances, and providing for an effective date for this ordinance. Section 1, subsection,
Isn't there supposed to be a motion made to read it the second time and the first time?
would anybody like to make a motion to read this, have this
I'll
read a
make a
second time?
motion to read it a second.
There's a motion to read it a second, just the captions?
Yes.
A motion to read just the captions a second time?
I'll second.
It's been seconded, roll call vote.
They chose
Yes.
Bob Flynn,
Yep.
Darren Tim,
Yes.
Lee Blackburn,
Yes.
Robert Thomas.
Yes.
That's 5-0 against.
An ordinance amending and updating ordinance 336 dated September 9th, 1991, prohibiting the maintenance of nuisances within the City of Dixon, Missouri, providing for the abatement and of the penalties for the maintenance and of such nuisances, and providing for an effective date for this ordinance. Section 1, that's section 2 of ordinance 336 shall be repealed. A new section 2 shall be added within the following language. Section 2, nuisance is defined. Section 2, that subsection 4 of ordinance 336 shall be repealed. A new section 4, subsection A will be added with the following language. Section 4, abatement of nuisances. Section 3, that section 4, subsection C of ordinance 336 shall be repealed. A new subsection 4, subsection C shall be added with the following language. Section 4, abatement of nuisances. Section 4, that section 5 of ordinance 336 shall be repealed. A new section 5 shall be added with the following language. Section 5, penalties for failure of abatement of nuisance. Section 5, effective date. And is there a motion to have this read a third time?
I'll make a motion for the third reading by caption only.
Okay, there's been a motion made by just read it a third time with just the captions. It's been seconded, roll call vote.
He chose us,
Yes.
Bob Flynn,
Yes.
Darren Timmons,
Yes.
Lee Blackburn,
Yes.
Robert Thomas.
Yes.
That's 5-0.
An ordinance amending and updating ordinance 336 dated September 9, 1991, prohibiting the maintenance of nuisances within the City of Dixon, Missouri, providing for the abatement and of the penalties for the maintenance of such nuisances, and providing for an effective date on this ordinance. Section 1, that's subsection 2, that's section 2, subsection N of ordinance 336 shall be repealed, and new section 2, subsection N shall be added with the following language. Section 2, nuisances defined. Section 2, that's subsection 4, subsection A of ordinance 336 shall be repealed, and new section 4, subsection A shall be added with the following language. Section 4, abatement of nuisances. Section 3, that section 4, subsection C of ordinance 336 shall be repealed, a new section 4, subsection C shall be added with the following language. Subsection 4, abatement of nuisances. Section 4, that section 5, or ordinance 336 shall be repealed, a new section 5 shall be added with the following language. Section 5, penalties for failure to abate nuisance. Section 5, effective date.
Good job.
And it's passed.
It's not. Is there, at this time, are there any questions at this time? Would anyone like to make a motion to pass this
I
ordinance?
make a motion that we adopt ordinance number 563.
There's a motion on the table to adopt ordinance number 563. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been seconded. Roll call vote.
He chose us,
Yes.
Bob Flynn,
Yes.
Darren Timmons,
Yes.
Lee Blackburn,
Yes.
Robert Thomas.
Yes.
That's 5-0, sir.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
3 months in the making. Good job. I want to thank Marlene Blackburn. Good job.
Well,
And John.
Good job. And Jeff.
Jeff. yeah.
And John Kayes and everybody else who helped out. And I know I'm missing names. Thank you so much. And at this point, there's nothing further on our agenda. Is there a motion to close?
I make that motion.
Adjourn. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn. Or Marlene,
Marilyn.
Marilyn, go
I
ahead.
think she said it first. Marilyn's made the motion to close.
We're all
Is there a second?
I second it.
Second, show of hands. We're